I guess it's time to tackle the elephant in the room. I have no idea if this thing will even run. Let's see if we can get it cleaned up. I've got WD-40, Purple Power, and mineral spirits. Mineral spirits has been working, but I don't understand why the WD-40 is having trouble. I mean the Purple Power. So let's see what we can do. Alright, I'm going to use WD-40.
After a little bit of elbow grease, I figure out this is a Craftsman motor.
Just for my own record, this top one goes to the plug, and the bottom one looks like it goes to the switch. So now, get that out of there.
The motor cleaned up so well, except for that one little dark spot on the casing and on the ends. So I try to see if I can get that cleaned up too. I'm hoping that I don't have to take this motor apart because I've never taken a motor apart, but I try to clean everywhere I can, even in the nooks and crannies where the fan stuff goes, just so I don't have to open it.
Well guys, I thought this was rust, but it's not. It's something that's really caked on there, so I might be able to get this off of there and get this down to where this motor looks so much better, because it's looking marvelous right now. I'm super stoked, super duper. Well, I'm still in shock at how well this motor cleaned up. It is just gorgeous. So now let's see if we can get it wired up, and let's see if it runs. I have no idea even if it runs. Well, I kept the old wires, but yowza. They are, this is where they connected. The one came in here, and boy, these are crispity crunchity. I might try to keep this little keeper here, take that off of there and see if I can get it on the new wire. Okay, I just got wired up straight, so it's just basically hot right now. And I'm going to plug it in, and hopefully we don't see any of that magical smoke. Alright, here we go. Oh, please work. Oh my goodness. Just as smooth. Holy cannoli. Love it. Alright boys. Alright boys and girls. Let's get this baby wired up. Alright, I've gone into electrical mode, but before I clean this switch up, let's see if it works. And oh, so I got a good switch, so I'll clean it up, and boys, we're rolling. My guess is I'm going to have to press this in. This was bell mouthed on both ends, so I took it over to the lathe and made it true again. So hopefully I won't have too much trouble that is getting it in. When I get paint down in it, I get a drill bit close to the size. I just kind of run it around on there and get the paint out of there.
Now that I know that the motor does work, I clean up the motor hardware and also get the mounting brackets and stuff installed, and time to install the motor. And just like I do with all the machined mating surfaces that don't have paint on it, I get a little coating of oil on it just to protect it.
We've got a grommet here. Try to get it into place. that's in there, I had to cut a lot of the rubber off the backside of it. It's still not perfect, but at least to get a little protection there. I did the same thing with this shaft, stuck it in there, knocked the bell ends off of there, and now let's hope it slides in there. Now I'll get these in here.
The original Gitz oilers were pretty messed up, so I found some on eBay and go ahead and hammer them into position. But I think these are slightly bigger.
Here we go, boys and girls. All right, I got a couple of pins, and they go with a little bit of oil. And now this has been lubed. Put a little in here as well. This one takes a little cotter pin. Well, this has one set screw, that the factory one, and there's one here that is not. I'll have to see if I can find a factory one, or cut the head off of this one and slot it. But I'm going to get those on there just to get them out of my way. Put a little oil over everything. Alright, time to get the pulley on. So I'm going to throw some oil here. Oil the shaft.
Like physics, I'll give it.
I gotta see if there's some burrs or something. Alright, I took that over to the lathe and knocked off the burrs. Now let's try this all over again. Got this lubed up. So let's send this through. Put this through.
Gets up there, floats over somewhere else.
Okay. Over at the lathe, I was using this little collar to make sure everything would slide. So, let's see about this belt. Lock collar. And there we go. Alright, I just noticed this too. You know, you live, you learn. This pulley, the big pulley, it's supposed to be two-step, but it's only a single-step pulley. So, anywho's, we'll see if we can source one of those out as well.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, Ty.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Con.
And you know what? They see us do it all the time. But none of them.
Well, I'm going to put a little grommet on there, and I'm going to do another hole back, but line this thing up to here.
I'm not sure if this is the original motor or not, but I could only get 3 of the bolt holes to line up right, and one of them had to be slightly off a little bit. And now I just have to splice into the wire and get some connectors on there and get it hooked up to the motor. The original motor just came with 2 wires, but I bought a 3-wire plug and I'm going to ground it to the body of the motor. I've never wired a motor before, but I just watched a couple of YouTube videos. Thunderdog has a machine like this, and I watched his wiring and then tried it like he did it. Here I'm putting on the original hole back, and I also have a grommet, a modern grommet that I put on it. And now it's time to thread it through the machine up to the switch.
One of the things I was wanting to do and forgot. This was a 2 wired outlet, and now I'm going to put it into a 3. So I'm going to take it and ground it to the case. So I'm going to cut that and put a terminal on it and ground it to the case. And the moment of truth. Oh, let's see this beast run, boys and girls. Let's see this thing come alive for the first time probably in 30, 40 years. Alright, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to have to adjust that pulley. Wow. Alright, do some adjusting. Alright, let's try this again. So we got to get that. That's got to be taken care of. Well, one of the things I didn't notice when I was painting this, when I first did this, was this corner is broken out. Now, part of the threads that hold on the change-o-matic gear is there. So if I can just, had I known this, I would have been able to weld something on here. But right now I'm going to try a little fix here with just something that can keep that in place and show you what I come up with. Well, here's the fix that I came up with. I knew that the corner of this thing on this side was broken out. However, the screw could bite some of the threads right there. So I had to figure out a way to keep this in line to be engaged with those threads. So what I did is measured it, drilled and tapped for the same that they have on that side, and now when I butt this one over here, this, once it goes in, will connect with the threads that are remaining on here and be kept into alignment, so it will still engage on that, and hopefully it'll keep it nice and tight. Okay, what I've done is I've set the backlash on this, and the way I did that was like G-hosties or ghosties, I don't know how you pronounce it, but you get it to where there's 0 on the dial indicator on the other side of run out after you run it for a while. And once you do that, you take it and turn it one more tooth, and then you lock it down. And I did that, and now we got the other tumbler gears on, and we'll get it greased up and get the back of this thing on there. It's getting exciting. It's turning into a mill now. So I'm using exactly what that other dude did, G-hosties. Spraying it onto a DVD, and now we'll get it onto the gears.
Serious.
So I got the grease on there and on the gears in here. Just put a light little coating on there. And now also got him in, oops, doggone it. Got him here on the change-o-matic. Now I'm going to get the change-o-matic on. Not sure if this is going to work. I got the little cheater thing on here So let's see if we can marry this thing up.
Dad, you got the change-o-matic on.
Not all the way.
Oh, okay.
Alright, I'm going to throw a little oil around this thing. I think it's going to go on this time, so this unpainted part that's nice and clean. Throw some lube on there.
Now I fit this and test fit this several times, and once I know that it's going to work, that's when I put the oil on it, I put the grease on it, and now I'm getting it back together to work and stay together, that is, for good. You're seeing just a few minutes of this, but this took a while to get it to fit.
Alright, the only thing I couldn't do was get the one alignment pin in, but the other one's in, all the bolts are in. Took a little while and some finagling, but the change-o-matic's on, and let's see if it works. So go up here. Okay, we'll turn it on. Oh, I didn't mesh the gears up. Okay. All right, that's something I got to do, and I saw it's done with a sheet of paper here. So we'll go back here and that in there like that. Tighten that. Well, see if that piece of paper comes out. There we go. Will you look at that? All right. Fantastic. Alright dudes, I'm really excited. McMaster car, I bought a new bushing. Now I pressed this one out that was in this little housing, and the way I did that was I had a piece of aluminum. It's perfect fit on that, and then I put a socket on this side and then a spacer, and then I put this in there and pressed it out. So here's the old bushing right here, and this is the one with the real sloppy fit on this, and here's the new one with a nice fit. The problem is that when I measured it, I couldn't really get into the housing, but I got it a little long, so I'm going to just go over to the lathe and turn it off to the proper length, and then get the new one pressed into here. Well, I laid that baby up, got it chucked down, and time to go get it pressed in. I'll put this one in the freezer, and I may warm this up, I'm not sure yet, but we'll get this pressed. Just a little quick comparison. This is the old bushing, and it's really wobbly, sloppy. Here's a new bushing. No wobble, no slop. That may get a little tighter once I press it in. It's going to get a little tighter, but we know that that's a really good fit on that thing. Got that bushing pressed in. Spins, no wobble. Yay! So I can get this thing rebuilt now. Alright. Okay, so I got that one in, and put this one in. Let's give it a test spin. Nice and lovely. So I'll get this tightened down. Show you a little trick I learned on this one. Ghosties uses a coin and a pair of pliers, but I found something too that'll work on there. And I bought this gasket scraper, and that thing goes perfectly, fits between here and here, right down in there, and now I can tighten this up. Alright, well, I got that with that same gear grease that I used, and got the little Atlas symbol back on. We'll put it back together. Okay, I was wondering how this worked on, but here's what they did. They took a regular 1/2-inch Craftsman swivel, and then they modified, it's got a hex in there, they modified a nut to go onto here, and then this is all pinned on there. So it's kind of ingenious, but I was wondering why it was a little different from what the guy on YouTube has. Anyway, we'll use that for now until we can find a replacement. Alright, I pull this back off so I can slide that on there. Now I can get this thing buttoned on. Alright. Kick out thing there. I just got to tap that pin down. I've learned my lesson about tapping too hard. There we go. Okay. Works like a champ.